Hello, thank you so much for joining today. As far as props go, I'd suggest having something long and skinny like a yoga strap, or if you don't have a strap, a belt, or something that's actually long and skinny. We're going to use that and keep it close by because we'll use it pretty early in our practice. And then the only other space I'd say that we might use a little bit is our wall or a piece of furniture close by. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But to start our practice, let's go ahead and come down into a comfortable position on your backs. So maybe that is a constructive rest with the knees bent towards the ceiling, or maybe they're touching and your feet are a little bit wider. Your hands can rest anywhere on your body, or maybe they're laying by your sides, palms face up. But as you settle in, start to relax your shoulders, start to soften into the space you've chosen for this relaxation moment. Maybe you close your eyes, or maybe you simply soften your gaze. Start to allow your breathing become a little slower and more intentional. Starting to fully arrive in this space today. As we rest here, we'll feel the ground underneath us, supporting us, lifting us up as we rest here. We'll notice the way the body is feeling in this moment. Any soreness, aches, or pains. Noticing our breath. Does it feel constricted at all? Maybe you have a stuffy nose or congested lungs today. Just simply notice. And if those things aren't there, that's great as well. Notice the lack of those things. And then we'll start to pay attention to our emotional state. Noticing any emotions that we might be feeling in this moment, any energy levels, any mental stories that are bouncing around in our head, not letting us come to this moment of relaxation. And with your next big breath, see if you can simply allow all that to go, the physical, the mental, the emotional. So you can start to come into a place where you are resting here, feeling your breath as it comes in and out. And we'll start to focus on our breathing itself as we take our breathing exercise for today, the straw breath. With a straw breath, we inhale through pursed lips, so like you're sucking on a straw. And as you exhale, maybe an audible sound, a whistle or a sigh comes out. And we'll take about 3 to 5 of those breaths before sinking back into your neutral breath. You fall back into your neutral breath. Try not to change it or adjust it in any way. Simply let it flow in and out. As today we're going to talk about how our past can actually be healing. When we think about the roots of trees, we don't really think about how pretty they are. They don't seem as pretty as the leaves on the tree, or flowers, or nuts or berries. And often those roots are hidden, or when they do come up where they're visible, they're gnarled. But they are completely necessary for the plant to exist. The same reasoning goes with our past. Our past is necessary for us to grow into the people that we are today. No, our past isn't always beautiful. It's mostly hidden, sometimes gnarly, but it's a necessary part of our growth and our healing. So we can start to view our past like they're roots of a tree that allow our leaves and our beauty to grow and is essential in our becoming. Our past can be healing. When we learn from our past and we show up wiser in the present. So maybe later today, go out on a walk and look at a tree. Look down at its roots. And even if they're hidden, or maybe a little visible, but they're always there and a necessary part of that tree's growth. As we think about that tree and those roots, let's take 3 to 5 more of the straw breaths, breathing in and out through pursed lips. Maybe that whistle sounds like the wind going between the leaves of that tree. And our last straw breath for the moment. Now, throughout our practice, you can always come back to that straw breath as a great focus for our mind as we move through our physical practice. We'll take this one last moment of our opening time together to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude for all the things that those roots have taught us, all the lessons that have brought us here to this very moment. And as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Flutter the eyes open, maybe take a stretch if you'd like. As we start to add just a little bit of physical movement to our practice, we'll start by bringing our knees in towards our torso, getting a nice crunch here in the abdomen and in the hip flexors, and then find a little rocking sensation. Maybe rock left to right, or even along the spine if that works for your body. Give yourself a nice back massage, starting to warm things up. And then with our exhale, we'll bring both feet back into that constructive rest, but this time knees straight up. And then let's grab that strap we talked about. We're going to take it, we're going to wrap it around our right foot at the ball of the foot. And then we're going to start to send that foot as high into the sky as feels good. Now you're welcome to keep a bend throughout this entire part of our flow, but you're also welcome to press through the heel, straightening the leg a little or a lot. Now we're going to take the strap in our hands. We're going to take it at the furthest point from our foot. And then start to lift your hands overhead, taking the stretch a little deeper. And again, if it feels tight in the ligament of the knee, bring a bend into the knee, inviting the stretch into the muscles. Maybe this is where you add a straw breath as you exhale. Our next inhale, release how intense that stretch is. Grab the strap in the right hand, the same hand as that foot, and then begin to allow that leg to fall out to the right side and hover off the ground. It can be just a couple of inches, it could be quite a few inches, it could be at a 45-degree angle. It's all up to you what feels good. We're just simply starting to warm things up, so we don't want to strain that inner hip just yet. And be mindful of that left hip. Keep it firmly planted on the ground and not starting to roll up. Inhale, bring that leg back through center. Switch the grip to the left hand, to the opposite hand. And then we're going to take this just slightly across the center line, just about an inch or so, and start to point the toes to the left side of your mat. And this should allow your IT band to start to feel a stretch. And it's a little bit of a micro movement, so play around with it until you find the stretch in your body, just slightly left of center, toes pointing towards the corner of your mat. Great job. Bring it back through center. Release the strap and then see how slowly you can extend that foot down towards the mat. Controlling it with your lower abdominals. You're doing great. Once the foot arrives, you can keep it lengthened or you can bend it back into that constructive rest, depending on what feels better for your lower back. And then we'll take it side two, grabbing the left foot with our strap. Starting to straighten it overhead, feel that length and extension through your foot. And then when you're ready, start to take your hands overhead, stretching out through the back of the leg. Noticing how that feels. Maybe finding the straw breath if that's a good focus for you in this moment. Good job. Exhale to release a little, bringing the strap into the left hand this time. Begin to allow that left leg to fall out to the left side, a little or a lot. You might find that the sides are different. Maybe your right side you could open until it was just hovering off the floor, but maybe this side has a little tension and it doesn't want to go that far. And don't push anything, just allow it to happen with your breath. Great job. Bring it back through center. Switching hands to the opposite hand. Become just slightly right of center this time, and then allow the toes to point towards your right shoulder or your right side of your mat. Finding that IT stretch, making any adjustments. Beautiful job. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale to bring it back through center. Release the strap. Control the movement with your lower abdominals as you slowly lower that foot all the way to the mat. Great job. Alrighty, from our constructive rest, we'll actually go ahead and flip on over as we come into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips with a straight spine from the top of the head to the hips. With our exhale, we'll drop our belly and lift our gaze. And with our inhale, we'll round our belly, tuck our chin and tail. Take this at your own pace, matching your breath to your movement. You can find a natural breath or that straw breath, whatever feels better for you in this moment. Beautiful. All righty, go ahead and come back to a straight spine and then flip over one hand so the palm is facing up, the back of the hand is down, and you're getting a nice stretch through your wrists. And then flip it over. Do it on the other side. Flip them both over. Keeping the fingertips pointed forward. Take some circles with your upper body through your wrists, going in one direction. And they can be big circles or little circles. It's getting a nice stretch through the wrists. And then reverse them. Great job. Go ahead and pause and then begin to walk the fingertips out towards the side of your mat on each side. So the fingertips are pointing in opposite directions. And then find a little rock from left to right this time. And then come through center and rock forward and back. Great job. And if the fingertips feel like they're at their max of twisting, you're welcome to stay right here, but maybe see what it might feel like to walk the fingertips around in a circle till they reach towards your knees, or they point towards your knees. And notice that stretch once more through the wrist. Beautiful job. Exhale to release, hands back in neutral position. All righty, let's take our right foot, extend it back behind us, tuck the toes, feel that length and extension. And then we're going to take our opposite hand, our left hand, we're going to stretch it out to the side, maybe even twist it up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, we're going to thread the needle, bringing it in between our body and our right arm, and then begin to sink your ear and shoulder of that left arm down towards the mat. And you can either keep your left hand planted under your shoulder, or you could start to walk the fingertips out. Nice, lovely thread the needle twist here. All right. You walk to the left hand out. Go ahead and walk it back under the shoulder. Or sorry, the right hand. Walk the right hand back under the shoulder. Begin to bring a bend into the right knee. And then with our inhale, circle that opposite hand to release it up overhead. Great job. Exhale, tabletop. And let's take that on the left side. Begin to send that left foot back, tuck the toes, lengthen through the leg. As you're ready, right arm, opposite arm comes out to the side, circles up. Nice twist through the torso. And maybe we take a straw breath as we exhale. We send that left arm through, we send that right arm through the left arm. And go ahead and drop your ear and shoulder towards the mat or towards a prop. Take one more breath here. You walked the left hand forward. Go ahead and bring it back under your shoulder. And then bend that left knee. Press into the left hand as we inhale to untwist our thread the needle. Right hand reaches up. Exhale, tabletop. Great job. We'll go ahead and push ourselves back to come into a seated position. You're always welcome to be up on a pillow or a blanket or anything else that you might like as you come into a comfortable seated position. And from here, we're going to take a fire log pose. So I like using a block You can use a pillow, you can use nothing. It's up to you for this. But we're going to take and start with our right leg. We're going to bring it right in front of our body, flex through the ankle, and try to get your shin as parallel to the body as feels possible in your body. And then we'll start to take that right leg, and we're going to bring it so it's also parallel to the body. And you can stack the feet, you can stack the ankles, you can maybe even bring your knee, your foot over towards your knee and stack knees and ankles. Now, if you're like me and you have a big gap here, it might not feel comfortable just to let it hang out, and you're welcome to bring a block or some other prop in between those legs. We don't want to force that leg down. That would injure that hip flexor that we've been working to loosen here. And then let's take our arms out wide. Feel a stretch of the arms at a T at shoulder height. And then we're going to take our right arm across to our left knee, and then take your left arm across to your right foot or your left foot. So we have a little crisscross going on at the arms. Begin to walk your fingertips up towards your shoulders, and you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to come into an eagle arm, start to bring the backs of hands together, the fronts of hands together, or that handy dandy strap we have, it can come in between your hands as well. Really work to keep your spine straight here. Maybe that straw breath comes back. Beautiful. Our next exhale releases the bind. And then let's go ahead and start to set up for second side. So releasing the left leg, we bring it to the bottom, flex through the ankle, shin parallel to the body. Begin to walk that right foot to where it feels most comfortable. And again, it might not be the same from side to side. So finding what feels best for you, but we want to keep this top foot flexed and the shin as parallel to the body as possible. Add any props you might like. Inhale, arms to a T, straight spine. Exhale this time, the left arm comes under, the right arm comes on top. So it's the same cross as happening in your legs, the bottom hand on top and the same top hand on top. And then as you're ready, maybe grabbing those hands, opposite wrist or your strap for your eagle arm of your choice today. Beautiful job. All right, one last breath here. Exhale to release the bind of the arms. And then we'll go ahead and release our fire log legs. And we'll make our way up to standing, getting there in our own time and in our own way. Coming into your mountain pose, you'll stand nice and strong. Hands by your side, spine straight, top of the head reaching towards the ceiling. Strong like a mountain today. Inhale, circling arms, reaching them up towards the sky. Feel that length and extension. And then with our hands in a prayer, let's begin to hinge and forward fold, slicing through the air as we bring our hands down towards the floor or prop of our choice, keeping a generous bend in our knees. Maybe we grab opposite elbows and take a rag doll. Maybe we just find, keeping our hands where they are, we find a little sway from side to side. And maybe you shake your head or move your jaw. And eventually settle back into stillness, releasing hands to their previous location. As we press into those hands, we halfway lift, figure 7, gaze stays down. 4 is engaged. Exhale, hinge and fold, bend the knees, sink the hips. Take a slow roll coming all the way up to standing, circling those arms, reaching them up and overhead. And then with our exhale, let's bring our hands through prayer and then to our mountain. From here, we're going to take our right foot and flip over to the top of the foot, bringing the foot behind us and stretching through the shin and the ankle. Bring it forward, switch sides. Job, switch side. You're going to come back through mountain. And then we're going to roll through the feet left to right. Stretching out through those ankle joints. Come back through center and then roll to the ball, maybe lift the heels. And then roll to the heels and maybe lift the toes. And if you're keeping your feet flat, that's fine. Just rolling and putting weight forward and back. You can also have a hand on a prop to give you a little more stability. Great job. All right, go ahead and pause there. Take your right foot, cross it in front of your left foot, circle arms up. Exhale, prayer hands as we hinge into our forward fold. Notice how that feels. Keeping the legs exactly how they are. Inhale to roll back up to tall mountain. And then let's take it into a lean in the direction of the back leg. Taking a nice side bend here. Inhale through center. Exhale, mountain pose. All right, let's switch sides. Second side comes across. Pay attention to what leg is in the back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold, noticing how that feels through your body. Inhale, slow roll back up to standing, tall arms. And then take your side bend towards the back leg. Good job. Inhale through center. Step the feet apart. Let the arms float down by your sides. Beautiful job. All right, for this next sequence of movement, this is where I had mentioned maybe using a wall. You can also use the floor if that's better for your arrangement, but the wall can be a really nice option. And since I don't have a wall facing, I'm going to bring a chair as my demonstration. All right, so we're going to bring our hands about shoulder distance apart on whatever piece of furniture or floor or wall we're using, and then start to walk the legs back. We're coming into a standing downward dog. Let the head float in between the arms, pedal through the legs, shifting the weight to the left and to the right. Notice what's happening in your arms and your shoulders. And maybe even take a few of those straw breaths while we're here. Great job. If you haven't found stillness through your legs, inhale, lifting heels as high as they'll go, and exhale, sink the heels towards the floor. They don't have to touch. Begin to lift your gaze towards your hands. We're going to roll through the spine like we're coming to a plank pose for just a moment. A little bit of weight in our wrist, loading the wrist and shoulder joint. And then begin to walk yourself towards the prop that you're using. We'll take a standing cobra pose by bringing ourselves as close to the prop as we can, pressing into it, lifting our heart and finding a generous back bend as we lift our gaze. Great job. Exhale to bring the spine straight, and then we'll reset in our downward facing dog. Beautiful job. We'll take one last breath in our downward facing dog. And as we inhale, we'll find our way to standing mountain. Beautiful job. All righty, we're going to get into a little bit of some standing balance challenges here today. So we'll start by being in our mountain. Always welcome to have a prop nearby for a little added support with balance challenges. We're going to start to shift our weight to the left foot and begin to lift the right toes. Now you're welcome to keep the toes on the floor and bring your foot over towards your ankle. You're also welcome to start to lift the knee, lift the foot off the floor, and then open the knee to the side, finding a tree pose of your choice. Right foot can go anywhere along that left leg. And either your hands can stay on your hips or a prop if you're using a prop, or you can start to lift one or both hands into a big Y overhead. Now, as you're starting to get into our first tree of today's practice, begin to imagine those roots from your feet extending down into the ground from all the trees you've ever done in yoga before have led you to this moment. You're doing great. Great job. Exhale, release the arms and then the leg. Feel free to take any movement you'd like. Come back to your mountain. Inhale, we start to lift the opposite knee. Open it out to the side. We find our tree pose on this side. Now, it can always be helpful with balance challenges to find a spot on the floor that's not moving. And maybe when you're ready, lifting one or both arms. Good job. Exhale, release the hands. Then release the foot. Great job. Take any movement your body needs as we move into our second option, our second balance challenge. This one, maybe a block would be nice if you like to use blocks for standing eagle pose. Another option is to bring your back up against a wall for a little more support. We'll start by bending into our knees, creating a little bit of a chair pose. Doesn't have to be a deep one, just a nice, generous sink of the hips and the knees. And then we're going to start to lift the left leg. We're going to cross at the ankle or cross at the knee. You want your foot can rest on that prop like I talked about, the block. Your back can be up against a wall for added support. And then when you're ready, start to let the arms float up to a T. Cross the left arm, right arm under the left arm, and find your eagle arm variation. We'll take 3 breaths here. Great job. As gracefully as you can, start to unwind the arms back out to a T. Release them by your sides, and then uncross the feet and ankles. Come into your mountain pose. Take any movement to resettle. And then when you're ready, shift to the second side. Begin to lift and cross. Bend into those knees a little or a lot. Arms come up to a T. This time, opposite arms as you come into your eagle arms. Imagine maybe instead of the tree, this time you're the eagle in the tree, perched and ready to take flight. Exhale, slowly release the arms, and then bring the feet back to you. Feel free to take any movement your body would like. We're going to come back into our mountain. We're going to bend our right knee, start to kick it up towards our hip. Now you can hold on to your pant leg, hold on to your ankle, or you can grab that strap and wrap it around your ankle. We're going to start to draw our heel up towards our hip. We're going to have a nice, generous bend in our standing leg. And either you're welcome to stay here, pointing your knee down towards the ground, or maybe come into a king dancer and start to extend your opposite arm as you hinge forward. Beautiful job. Bring it back through a straight spine, releasing side one. As you're ready, start to shift the weight to the other side. Bend in that knee. Start to kick your heel up towards your hip. And again, maybe this side you just want to stay here. You don't want to add the hinge forward. That is a great stretch right there, just on that front quad. But if you'd like to start to add the balance challenge in, start to extend your opposite arm as you kick your foot towards your hand or towards the strap and find that forward hinge. Great job. Inhale to bring it back through center. Exhale, release the foot. Feel free to take any movement that you would like. All right, you've done a great job with our standing poses today. Now, our next exhale, let's make our way back into a tabletop on the ground. Bringing hands under shoulders and knees under hips. From here, we're going to move into a plank or a half plank of your choice. So if you're taking a half plank, you're going to shift the hips forward, keeping the knees down, the toes pointed up. And if you're taking the full plank, knees come up and toes stay down. We're going to hold this for 3 or 2. And on the 1, go ahead and lower all the way down to the mat. Great job. Begin to slide the elbows to where the hands just were. And then with our inhale, press into the hands, come back into a forearm plank. Engaging your core. You're doing great. Straight spine. Then we're going to have just a little gentle twist. We're going to shift our hips down towards one side, back through center. Shift the hips towards the other side. Take this at your own pace. And you can go really fast or really slow as we take these hip dips left to right. And again, knees can be down or toes can be, depending on how your body's feeling or the energy level that you have at this moment. Great job. Come back through center after balancing out. Exhale, lower the torso down towards the mat. Extend the arms out long. We're going to keep our elbows on the mat, but walk your fingers out a little forward towards the corners of your mat so you can extend your arms long. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. Begin to slide the hands back just a little as you come up higher through the back. Lift your gaze, pull your heart space forward, and then begin to imagine there's roots coming out of your fingertips into the ground, and they're curling into the soil beneath your hands. And then draw those hands back a little bit. They might not actually move because your roots have you grounded, but you're feeling that tension in the shoulders as you pull that. Great job. Exhale, release down, make a pillow out of your hands and allow one side of your head to rest on the pillow you made with your hands. We're going to release that lower back by shifting our hips left to right and releasing that deep back bend. All right, go ahead and find stillness here. We'll go ahead and keep our hands just how they are, but I want you to tuck your toes and lengthen your legs behind you. Notice how that feels through the glutes, the hips, the hip flexors, and everywhere else. Now, one at a time, tap the knee down and then move to the other side. The toes are tucked, and you're going to tap your knees down, one at a time. It's not a big movement, but maybe you start to feel some shaking. Maybe you notice how it feels. Great job. All righty, go ahead and untuck the toes, releasing the legs. And then let's go ahead and flip on over to our backs. Coming into that constructive rest. And then start to send the left leg long and straight along the mat. And then hug the right knee in towards your torso a little bit or a lot. We're going to find a laying tree by allowing that right knee to start to fall out to the side and then placing the right foot against that extended left knee. Flex through the left ankle. And then as you're ready, maybe grow some beautiful branches in any direction, in any way you'd like, from cactus to a Y to a circle, anything that feels good for you. Once again, maybe envisioning roots starting to come out from your feet into the ground beneath you. Take just a few breaths here as we let gravity open us up here. We taken the element of balance out of the posture, allowing us to simply feel the function of the movement or the stillness. Our next inhale brings that right knee back towards our torso. And then release, constructive rest. We'll take it side two. Begin to stretch that right leg long, flexing the ankle, and then hug the left knee in towards your torso. Exhale to open it out for laying tree pose. Maybe you find different branches this time. Adjusting the shoulder stretch just a little bit. Find your breath. Bring it back through center. Constructive rest. All righty. From here, we're going to take and cross our left foot over our right, either at the ankle or at the knees. You can keep the feet on the floor, or for more of a challenge, lift the feet up. Take your arms wide to a T. Crisscross them for eagle arms. Hold here for a breath or two. You've been an eagle 3 different times in 3 different orientations today. So noticing maybe how each one has built on the other to bring you to this point. The history that you've created just throughout this practice. Beautiful job. Exhale to unwind, coming back into constructive rest. And then let's take it on the other side. Crossing at feet or ankles. Feet can stay on ground or lift off. Arms come to a T. Take it opposite arms. Find your eagle arm variation of your choice. Find your breath here. Great job. Exhale to unwind. Take the feet as wide as your mat in your constructive rest. And then start to windshield wiper the knees from left to right. Releasing the lower back from the back bends. Releasing the hip flexors from all the different work we did in it today. Great job. Come back through center. Hug both knees in towards your torso. And then find a happy baby by lifting the feet towards the ceiling and finding a generous bend in your knees as they come out to either side of your rib cage. You can hold anywhere on your legs, your pants, your feet, your ankles. Or again, maybe you grab that strap and wrap it around both feet. That's a great option too. You can find stillness, or if you want to find a little rock from side to side, that can feel nice. You can also straighten and bend through the knees. Take just about 3 more breaths, maybe even those straw breaths here. And with our next exhale, we'll start to move towards our final resting position, whether that's coming back into constructive rest or maybe a corpse pose, or you're welcome to make any adjustments or add anything so you can start to relax on command. Maybe it's pillows or blankets, maybe it's a sweatshirt or some socks. But take this moment to settle into the most comfortable position for you, allowing your body to rest fully against the ground, closing your eyes if that feels right for you, and then taking a deep breath in and out. With each exhale, feel yourself softening, rounding, becoming more present. As you gently bring your awareness to your breath, we notice the natural rhythm of your inhale and exhale without trying to change it. Instead, we simply observe and are present. Now bring your awareness to the base of your spine. imagining it as the trunk of a great tree. Picture yourself, even as the tree, steadfast, beautiful, growing towards the sky. Notice the strength in your trunk, the way it supports everything above it, your branches, your leaves, and your fruit. But the strength does not exist in isolation. It is supported by what lies beneath the surface, your roots, deep and sprawling, hidden from sight. Visualize these roots stretching wide and deep into the earth. They are vast, intricate, and essential, anchoring you to the ground, drawing in nutrients and life. As you feel the sensations of your roots extending deep into the earth, providing stability and nourishment. These roots represent your past, hidden beneath the surface, yet essential to your growth, your strength. Taking a moment to appreciate the grounding energy of your roots, anchoring you in this moment. Each root is a part of your story, representing moments of your past. Some roots come from joy and others from challenges. Some go straight and steady. Others twist and turn. Perhaps there are roots that feel tangled or scarred, and yet they all serve a purpose. They all help you stand tall. And it was as you rest with this image, notice how the tree does not judge its roots. It does not label them as good or bad. It simply allows them to be, knowing that every root has contributed to its journey, to its beauty, to its strength, its ability to weather storms. Continue to visualize your roots delving deeper into the soil, intertwining with the memories and the experiences of your past. And just like that tree roots absorb nutrients, your past has provided you with wisdom and lessons that shape who you are today. Can you embrace these roots with your gratitude, acknowledging that even the challenges have contributed to your resilience and beauty? Can you feel the energy from your past flowing through your roots, up into your trunk, and reaching every branch and leaf? Can you feel yourself softening into acceptance of the past, just as the tree embraces its roots? Notice how the roots are not stagnant. They grow, they adapt, just as your relationship with your past can also evolve. What once felt heavy or difficult can over time transform into strength and resilience. Can you imagine the energy from your roots as it nourishes your entire being, promoting healing and growth? As you inhale, feel the energy rising from your roots, moving through every cell of your body and reaching to the tips of your branches. As you exhale, release any tension or negative emotion, allowing them to return to the earth. Knowing that just as the tree thrives within the support of its roots, you too can flourish by embracing your past and using it as a source of strength. Now bring your attention back to the present moment, feeling the steadiness of the ground beneath you. Take another breath in, imagining the energy of the earth rising through your roots, into your trunk, and throughout your branches. With each exhale, releasing anything that feels heavy, unnecessary, ready to be let go. We'll take a moment of gratitude for your roots, for the hidden strength that they provide, and for the beautiful tree that you are. We'll take a few more deep breaths, feeling the connection between your roots and your entire being. Remember that like a tree, you are beautiful and strong, supported by the unseen roots of your past. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far, knowing that we can carry with us the quiet strength and grounding of a tree. And then as you're ready, we'll begin to wiggle fingers and toes, or flutter the eyes open, and in your own time, and in your own way, come up to an upright position facing me. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time.